going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Kaged Review, and this is my review for Batman Returns. Coming back with this Batman series of movies, and you are starting out pretty bad. And it only gets worse, trust me. But, you know, it's kind of because Tim Burton, who is the director, just made everything Tim Burton. He didn't make a Batman movie. He made his own version of what Batman should be, and he didn't really care about the characters in the movies. First of all, that was obvious in this sequel here. So you have an amazing score by Danny Elfman. You also have Michael Keaton coming back as Bruce Wayne Batman. You have Pat Hingle coming back as Commissioner Jim Gordon, Michael Gough as Alfred Pennywise. You have Michelle Pfeiffer being introduced as Selena Kyle, Catwoman. You also have Danny DeVito being introduced as Cobblepot, the Penguin, and Christopher Walken as Max Schreck. And so you actually start out this movie with this baby being born. He's disfigured. His family doesn't want him, so they ditch this baby in this like icy like river or whatever, and he somehow survives. And that is the origins of the Penguin in this movie, and he is completely deranged. He's out of touch with everybody else and everything else. He's just completely outside of society, and just batshit crazy. And that's not the Penguin character. He's smart. He's a smart businessman, but he's also very maniacal. I mean, he's absolutely savage in the comics. And so there was a huge departure there. And so you have this businessman, this like, you know, typically evil businessman that you have in these earlier movies. It's pouring toxins into the waters and stuff. And so Selena Kyle, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, finds out, he kills her. She's resurrected by cats, has 9 lives. And probably the best parts of this movie are Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, and Michelle Pfeiffer as their respective characters. But the latter two definitely have the typical Tim Burton character pieces that just don't work. I said in the original Batman that there was too much that was cheesy. It was too campy. And that's equally true here. Selena Kyle, for example, sits there licking herself. You know, she supposedly has 9 lives, and they kind of play off that at the end of the movie where she gets shot a couple of times and doesn't die. And she's actually saying a nursery rhyme while it's happening. It was really off the charts, just campy. The Penguin. He was definitely a despicable character in this movie for a lot of different reasons. Not the least of which is just like his overtly weird sexual references that he makes throughout this movie. Just kind of uncomfortable. Tim Burton also makes the Penguin's crew very circusy. You got these characters, this is the gang who's got like these like skull helmets and just kind of ridiculous looking, which kind of birthed the next 2 movies because they both followed suit with that very cheesy type of gimmick, and it just does not work. So Selena Kyle, she's resurrected. She kills Max Schreck, Christopher Walken's character, for what he did to her. And then you get the usual, you know, Selena Kyle, you know, she kind of meets Batman, kind of falls for him in a way. Selena Kyle, the actual character in the movie, goes on a date with Bruce Wayne in the movie, and then eventually they realize that, you know, they are Catwoman and Batman respectively. So you have that. You also have she's trying to kill the Batman and kind of teams up with Penguin. So you got that dichotomy there. Before Christopher Walken's character gets killed, he decides that he's going to try to make Penguin a man of the people. He's going to try to make him a savior, and they're going to try to paint Batman as the bad guy. Okay, on paper that sounds pretty good. So you get one of Penguin's goons goes and steals the mayor's baby while he's giving a speech, drops down a sewer tunnel. And then the Penguin comes back out, saves it, delivers the baby, and all of a sudden, you know, people are taking notice of Cobblepot. And so he starts developing this plan where he's going to try to make the Batman the bad guy. And there's this one scene in particular where he takes control of the Batmobile, and it's just so ungodly. Like, he's got this like weird arcade style setup where he's got this wheel and he's driving the Batmobile through this, like, I don't even know what it is. I'll be honest. It was just ridiculous. So yeah, it definitely had its very, very cheesy moments to this movie. At the end of the day, they actually wind up killing Danny DeVito. He and Penguins drag his body underwater, and Selena Kyle, she's just left kind of doing her own thing. It was really weird. It was dysfunctional. It was very choppy at points. There was a pretty big lull throughout the middle of the movie. And I just could not get over Tim Burton putting his stamp all over this movie, all throughout. I don't mind I saw people talking about how they felt like the movie was too dark. I don't mind that. It's a Batman movie. Batman is a dark character. If you do it right, if it's done well, I'm all for it. This was not done well, and therein lies the problem. So ladies and gentlemen, that's kind of where I'm at with it. If I have to grade this movie, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 10. Wasn't really that big of a fan of it, to be honest. Michelle Pfeiffer was great during her parts. She kind of understood what the movie was, and she killed it. And plus, you know, back in the day, Michelle Pfeiffer, you know, in Catwoman was like the sexiest thing on movies. So, yeah. But other than that, it really fell short for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my review for Batman Returns. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Checkowitz, Kaged Nation, out.